Today we answer a really interesting question. What do you learn first, chords, melody, or sound selection? In this video, I'm going to show you guys the differences between each of these stages and what to focus on first. First, I recommend you guys focus on harmony. Here's why. So I have a 4-component system. It teaches you the 4 components to every single song. The top line is a memorable melody that goes over top of your track, usually the highest frequency. We move into what's called the harmony section. This is your chords. This is your glue to the track. We have a contrast layer. This is the density for your track. Again, we have no webcam here, guys, because I'm trying to give you guys pure value here. And lastly, we have the rhythm section, which is a timing perception. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is show you guys how to build a whole composition with just those 4 components. But firstly, the reason why chords are really important is because when you have the chords, everything derives from the chords. So let's create a chord progression. Let's do some like West Coast Bay Area type stuff and influenced by mob music. So groups like, not groups, but groups like The Click and rappers like Be Legit, E40. So let's. All right, so now we have the chords, everything. Think of the chords like the foundation to a house. Now we have the harmony, we're gonna just blend that in. And now the top line will become super easy because now when we create the melody, we have the musical canvas to build over top. So let's grab another library completely. Let's just go to, now here's where sound selection matters because sound selection allows you guys to feel what I'm actually doing. I can play the same exact chords, but if I play it on FL keys, it's not gonna feel authentic. So it's almost like in music how you have some rapper who doesn't look the part and he's rapping hood lyrics. Now the lyrics may be the greatest in the world, but the reason we don't connect with the lyrics is because the delivery is coming from a person that we don't believe. So the same thing with sounds. It's about believability. It's about emotional translation. So we can say a message all day long, but it has to be delivered properly. So delivery is the sound selection. Now again, I can still play the same chords here on FL keys, but it's not going to feel the same. Now, if I picked a random pluck sound, it just wouldn't make sense. I think there's a plugin called like Plucked. I haven't used this in so long. But if I, for example, use this sound and I play the same chords, it just, depending on the sound, it can determine the believability. If I play like a cartoony sound, you guys are not going to feel like that's R&B. But when you have a sound that's authentic to that era, this MK80, for example, you know, something that's defining of a genre. It feels more authentic. The same way when you guys listen to a country song, for example, if I start playing 808s on a country song, it might not feel authentic, at least back in the day. Nowadays, you see 808s all over the place, but country is kind of defined by certain sounds, like a lap steel guitar and acoustic guitars and things like that. Okay, so that is what sound selection is all about. So the 4-component system helps you guys understand how to start adding sounds to build a bigger composition. Now we have our harmony. Let's create a top line. Let's go to our Roland. Now you guys can pick anything, but let's try some kind of flute from here. Okay, so now we have sounds that are normally found together. And you guys can, you know, study your top favorite records. Let's record this in. So this era of R&B was a lot of ethnic sounds back then. Let me go back. All right, let's record this in. So now the top line is very simple. So notice I didn't play a ton of notes. I'm just playing the notes that stand out over top. And I'm using pitch bend a lot. If you guys listen closely, there's a lot of pitch bend modulation. I have to fix one note. And also I have to change the velocity because velocity matters for this sound specifically. Or else it just kind of fades off. So notice we're not using 1,000 notes, 1,000 million notes. All right, so now we have the top line. Now we're gonna move into the contrast layer. Now I'm using sounds that are known for that Bay Area. Let's add this in. Actually gonna start on G sharp. All right, so I'm changing a couple notes here and there. Now the bass doesn't have to play the same thing as the top line. Okay, so now we have the contrast component. Now we just gotta add some drums, some rhythm in here. So when you guys ask me what to learn first, melody or chords, chords should be the foundation of everything you're taught because melody derives from harmony. You think most people teach you guys that chords are separate from harmony, but what if I told you that chords are just me playing notes together closer? Melody is if I space out the notes. It now sounds more melodic. If I just play the notes, that's really the same chord. I'm just now adding time. Okay, so it's chords and melody one and the same. The only difference is really just the timing and the rhythm. So see how sounds are about authenticity. Like, does this sound like, that genre, the Bay Area genre? Some sounds they may use, for example, is like some Roland sounds, for example, TR-808, to get that authentic. Let's add a little percussion in here. Classic cowbell. Classic clap. All right, now sequence some stuff. Now I'm just gonna create some really basic drums here, guys. Nothing too wild. Don't want to. We're gonna make a longer sequence than normal just because I want to create change ups. Now back then they didn't do t every single time. Add these claps in here. So this might be something you would hear in a Now the bass could use a little more like truncated movement. So now I might go back and redo the contrast layer. So see how all these components start stacking up, and now we have a more fluent way of going about creating a track. It's not just me guessing what's next and spending hours. So now I have more bounce in the drums because all the rhythms play off each other. So notice that time I played more intentional. It was all about the rhythm, the timing, and less about the musicality, like the root note focus. So now we have these components. Now we can go in and start adding expression layers. So the expression layers are where we go in. So most people get stuck on what type of sound. That takes, everything is completely different in music. There's no formula to every sound. Like there's no formula for sound selection. There is a formula for composition, however, but there's not a formula for sound selection. Sound selection is dependent on the reference track that you guys have and the genre. It all changes. So now I might go back and add some more layers in here. And notice we're now creating a more full arrangement. Now most people just stop at those 4 components, which is, that's a good place to focus on. Now let's add some bells in here and just liven up some of those harmonies. Now we're gonna add these like 1, 2, 3 at the end of stuff. We're gonna add turnaround sound. So I call this a top line expression because it's accenting. It's accenting those high frequencies. Here we go. We're gonna change it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's just at the end of stuff we're adding these little filler sounds. There, I hit the wrong note. We're gonna fix that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so I just gotta fix a couple notes in there. See how everything feels cohesive. It feels believable because these are the sounds. These were the sound sources that the original genres created around. Now there's a plugin called Player. I recommend you guys go grab this from Sound Selection. And DJ Idea is just, his beats are just crazy. But if you go study his Larry June, his Bay Area type stuff, mob music type, MOBB music, it is just impeccable. So go watch his YouTube channel, listen to his beats. He made his own plugin and he has a ton of sounds in here for this genre. So let's go to instrument. Let's add like a lead in here. So now we got that. Let's just go through different leads. So I like these leads. They just fit right into the mix. They don't clash. So let me come up with a little ending phrase like dun, 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 dun. Just like some kind of ending phrase. All right, so this is what I would call a top line expression because it's very animated. It moves around in tone. It performs, and it doesn't need to go throughout the entire track. Now what we're gonna do is try to add some harmony layers in here. Let's use the player VST. So here's what we're gonna do in arrangement. I'm actually gonna move this over and get rid of the top line because now the top lines are competing for space. This way we give the song variation and not the same flute the entire way through. Now let's try to find some keys or some chords. So the cool thing about this like harmony section is we don't have to play it at the same exact time. So offsetting the time helps it be heard as well. The one thing though, you got to be careful and make sure the chords actually line up to the other chords. So the timing was a little bit different each time, but we need those small differences. So now start leveling. I want that bass to poke out just a little bit more. Debating if I want to pull down the octave. Like that bass needs to be down an octave just to be felt. I feel like it's a little low though. So the bass is conflicting with some of the low end of the chord. We're not going to EQ anything. But this is why the top line is usually one octave higher than the chords, because we don't want sounds to be masking each other to where they can't be perceived. So when you guys have a full process, you can create full compositions very easily. You just need to know what comes after what in a sequential order. And if you do have to go back, you can always go back and change small things. But chords are usually first, then top line, then your bass, and then rhythm. But you don't have to follow that set flow. It's just understanding that each section has a purpose. So thank you guys for watching. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium to learn more. Peace out, guys.